Hello and welcome back to the Shallow Proclamation. My name is Thomas, and as always, I am joined by...
Paul.
And we're watching the finale of The Monster of Peladon. I would like to see this wrap up in a nice, satisfying way, because then I might look more favourably on the story as a whole. But it's been quite a middling one overall, hasn't it? Just not knocking it out of the park, just quite plodding.
No, and yeah, I mean, I wasn't particularly looking forward to watching episode 5, but at least when you get to the sixth episode, you feel like something has to happen now, at least.
Yeah.
Like it has to wrap it up. That all the action needs to occur now, and it needs to wrap it up and finish. So hopefully, this episode won't be quite as tedious as maybe the last couple.
Yeah. I like the sheen on the Ice Warrior costume.
Yeah. I think it frustrates me that so much of classic Doctor Who seems like they had a certain number of episodes they had to produce.
Yeah.
With a certain budget, and so that meant they would be like, oh, we've got to eke this story out a bit, whereas in an ideal world you'd be like, we've got this story and it's really only this long, so we're going to do as best we can in this many episodes.
It's funny, isn't it, that the classic era suffers at times from having too many episodes, whereas the modern era suffers at times from having too few episodes.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. Yeah, and there are some six-parters which are just excellent. You can sit through it and you don't get bored, and it keeps upping the stakes and changing things up. And while the story develops, there's a slow burn to it. The information sort of eked out over the sort of what is effectively the length of a sort of feature-length movie.
Yeah.
But
what's funny about this is, like, as you and Sam were saying, it's not a six-parter that people were clamouring for. A sequel to Curse of Peladon. Was the Curse of Peladon, was that a six-parter?
No, that was a four-parter.
That was a four-part. So this is a longer
version of the story. Yeah. I think though as well, sometimes you can be in the process of making something, and then it's only when you come to sit down and watch it you realise it's longer and drawn out than you thought. I mean, that's what editing's for, isn't it? But then if you're limited to still producing 6 episodes, there's only so much editing you can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agador will not harm us. He destroys only our...
Gentlemen, this is Agador Manifest.
Now, lads,
I've shut myself off.
How can it still have that long left, Thomas?
Yes. I'm sorry, I have to confess, I was slightly just checking,
Surely it's over soon.
This, I have to admit, I'm quite excited to just start a new story, and it's blank slate.
It can be such a change-up, can't it?
It can.
What was it we watched just before the demons? Was it either Colony in Space or the mutants? I forget which one it was.
Oh yeah, it was something that was nowhere near as good as the demons, wasn't it? So when the demons came along, it was like...
Literally the first 30 seconds of the demons was better than whatever we watched before for 6 episodes.
We suddenly had loads to say, didn't we?
Yeah, we were like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose there's still the Eckersley storyline, isn't there? I'd forgotten about him.
You're sure you don't want to stay and take the job, Doctor? Civil service post, with a pension.
In you get, Sarah. I think it's time I took you home.
I mean, I'd hate to stand in the way of your career.
In you go.
Nice.
There we go.
There we go. Now, I quite like that ending, actually, because that was quite nicely done. The Doctor being offered the job, but then, he can't take it because it just wouldn't work. He is a man on the go. But I like how he kind of... he wants to kind of provide some long-term assistance. So he's like, okay, well, I need to help you select someone from your own people. Quebec is the man. So I quite like that, how he doesn't just save them from the situation. It's like, how can we improve things going forwards?
Yeah.
Um,
Occasionally we've had stories, haven't we, where the doctor's just sort of very quickly disappeared at the end without even saying goodbye. So at least there's a bit of resolution there, and good to see sort of the idea of someone like Gebek, someone who's not a sort of a nobleman, so to speak, with a title,
yeah,
but actually recognizing the character, someone's character, and therefore elevating them to a position rather than being given it because you had a title before or something. So that's quite nice. I don't think it can save the story from its sort of mediocrity, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, I agree. I think, yeah, I think although it picked up in those final three episodes, 4, 5, and 6, to some extent, taking it as a story as a whole, it does feel like a bit of a slog.
Mm.
But lots to commend. Um, I think it did do something new with the Peladon sort of situation. It wasn't a complete rehash of Curse of Peladon. Having the Ice Warriors be a bit more, yeah, aggressive, and sort of negotiating that. The kind of miners doing their own little mission. Death of Agador. I mean, I'm in tears. But sorry, no, that sounds a bit facetious. But no, yeah, no, that did kind of land. Actually, it was like, oh, yeah,
The Agador thing confuses me a little bit because they in certainly in Curse of Peladon and in this one as well, they sort of worship Agador, don't they?
yeah,
Almost like Agador is like a god, but that you see Agador just as a creature in this, and obviously then Agador's dead. So like, what do they do now? Like, are there other Agadors? Is there a little Agador Junior running around in the
yeah.
catacombs? Like down in the caves? I don't know. It just seems slightly unusual, but
Would they continue to worship the spirit of Agador that lives
yeah.
on, or whatever? Yeah,
Yeah, was it? Yeah, exactly. I don't really know. So it's not really developed. I wonder whether I think there might be some more Peladon type stuff in Big Finish. I wonder whether they actually ever explore any of that in more depth. I mean, because you could probably do some really good stuff with this setting and the not just Peladon itself, but the whole Federation and that idea of this kind of these galactic powers that are in this treaties and these alliances. You can see how that could be played with quite nicely in the hands of a good writer who wasn't necessarily limited by what you can put on a TV screen budget. If you're doing an audio, you've got a bit more scope, I guess, to get away with things.
yeah.
So yeah, maybe there is more. Maybe the Paladin sort of narrative has been used more effectively elsewhere. But
Here's a
yeah.
question: who would win in a fist fight between Agador and Alpha Centauri?
I mean, I think it would be a clear victory for Agador, if I'm honest. Like, I don't think Alpha Centauri can defend itself very well. So
More arms, I guess.
that's true. More arms, yeah. But
But yeah.
also one great big, just poke it in the eye.
Uh, okay, so yeah, but again, not a bad story. I don't come away from that going, "Oh, what a disaster!" It's like derailed the Pertwee era, or you know,
No, that would
you
be that would
wouldn't
be a
come
step
from
too
it
far.
thinking, "Oh, the show's dead." um,
I did like the bit where Sarah thought the doctor was dead, and actually he wasn't even bothered by it. He just put himself into a trance. So
yeah,
it wasn't even like he was overcome. It was actually his own decision to be like that. So that was quite a neat little thing. I quite
yeah,
like
that's
that.
nice.
What you get with Pertwee often that sense of the doctor being very much in control of these things, and I quite like that.
Yeah, he's quite nonchalant about a lot of things, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't. He's very rarely rattled by stuff.
Like when he
Um,
he calls Ecclesley over the other lines, like, "You're bluffing," and
mm,
but he keeps the kind of cold, yeah, the kind of calm demeanor the whole time, even when it's getting pretty intense, he's like sort of unruffleable, isn't he?
Yeah.
Unmark ruffleable.
Yeah. Ruffleable. Yep. Yeah, but like you said, actually, sort of when we saw how long there was left of that episode, and you said, "Oh, I'm kind of just wanting to get into another story." Like I echo that feeling that when you've had a story like that, which kind of feels a bit drawn out and doesn't really kind of ignite much excitement in you, you do think, "Oh, I'm looking forward to next week," because the next thing can be completely different. That's the thing, isn't it? If you've got that's the beauty of Doctor Who. Even if you get stories like this.
Yeah.
It doesn't derail your whole season either, because the week after could be an absolute banger,
Yeah, and the variety of the show is always what sort of, I think, is probably what's allowed it to endure for so long. Because, yeah, if it played it safe and was kind of similar situation every time, you can imagine a lot of shows are like that. Kind of each episode or each story has a kind of fairly similar kind of context and just mixes things up a bit. And those sorts of TV shows can often run for a few years. But yeah, because of Doctor Who's risks and the amount of things it's willing to try, I think even when it falls flat, people still kind of come back to it and give it another chance, and then that pays off. It rewards sticking with it, doesn't it?
It does, and it has the benefit of you get some shows which obviously, like you say, are either the same format pretty much all the way through, or pretty much the same setting, the same characters. But you also get shows that sometimes have a kind of each season has its own feel, and again, if you don't like what it's done, you're kind of stuffed for that season. So imagine if it was like, oh yeah, season 11 is the Peladon season. You'd be like, oh
yeah.
gosh, that would be hard work. You'd be like, yeah, that's not really for me, season 11.
Yeah.
Because it's just a chunk of it, it can get away with it, I think. So,
Yeah, a chunk
yeah,
of Peladon.
chunk of Peladon. But yeah, no, it'd be good to get into the next one. Obviously, sort of, I think we're in the finale now, aren't we? So, we should start saying to people. I mean, we've still got 6-parter ahead of us, but we will obviously, once we get to the end of the season, do this end of season review, probably as a live thing as well. So you'll want to. I say you'll want to. You might not care. Yeah, we'd like you to be sending in your questions about season 11. So you can pop those in the comments of the videos either today or in the coming weeks. Do let us know that it's a season 11 question, not just about the story you're commenting on. And we'll probably find on our Discord, we'll probably put a little section there if you do that as well. If you're not on the Discord, there's a link for that in the description. And if you want the full length reactions, if you want to sit through 6 whole episodes of The Monster of Peladon in real time with us, you can do that via our Patreon. And you can find the link in the description for that as well. So, yeah. Anything else to add, Thomas?
No, I was just going to say, well, on the season review thing, I don't know how much more Pertwee has left, of course. So
right,
I guess
yeah.
I'm beginning to think sort of, oh yeah, I'm really enjoying it. But we've had quite a few Pertwee seasons now, or a few.
Yeah.
It sort of feels like he could, to my mind, could be a regeneration coming up soon, or it could be another couple of seasons like this. I don't know. So intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, he's already done sort of longer than the others, hasn't he, in terms of number of seasons? So
Yeah.
yeah. Well, just have to take it as it comes, won't you, and see.
So
I did wonder whether you might feel thought in this episode he was going to regenerate.
Yeah.
Like when they had the image of him on the screen, whether we might see him regenerate via the security camera.
Yeah, that would be a weird story for him to go out on, wouldn't it?
It would be. Can you imagine? That would be like, oh, what a way to go. Right.
Yeah. But no, thanks guys. We'll be back soon.
Take care. Bye bye.